didn't know we were supposed to give schools and stuff, so go Gators, University of Florida. All right, we're ready to go. Stomp. Oh, Stomp, there we go. As mentioned, I'm a partner at Content Design Group and also BREW 5 Points. Content Design Group, we're architecture interiors. BREW, beer and coffee. I think I was probably brought in for the architecture and interiors tonight, not the beer and coffee. As you can see, Greg, my partner at Content, two-time Pecha presenter. Jack Twatchman, two-time. I've done it exactly 0 times. I'm always asked to talk. I hate to talk. So why tonight? Why did I say yes? It's really about that picture there in the Laura Street corridor. My house is at the top. My work is right off of Laura Street, and you can see we're 2 to 3 blocks from the landing, 0.9 miles away. Probably should have done like a burro bag or something because I've never taken a briefcase at all. We recently, last year, did the renovations to the Jack Chamber. If that's the downtown's new front door, like it's been called, then I believe this area here is the front porch. I mean, you see this on every NFL broadcast. You see it coming over that beautiful bridge all the time. It's really iconic. Tonight, I'm going to speak more in general terms than actually what it is. If I've learned anything from this little guy who's seeing himself in the picture, he asks 2 questions all the time, why and what if. Tonight, I think the what if is a little more of a simpler question to ask, so I'm going to ask a series of questions about what if on the landing. What if we forgot stucco could be used? For the past 10 years, we've had every new development has essentially brought stucco into this thing. If it's not stucco, it's tilt-up concrete. Whether it's a high-rise, whether it's a 2-3-story building, whether it's a new courthouse. What if we started to bring some new materials that aren't used very much in Jacksonville, but around the world in? We can do metal panels, we can do wood, we can do fake wood even, we can do glass, concrete. We can bring any of these materials in. It gives you transparencies. Let's open these buildings up. Let's see what they're doing. But it doesn't have to be all glass. We can mix them up. What if we said, you know what, we don't have to just use gray. It doesn't have to be white. It doesn't have to be beige. It doesn't have to be gray. We can add colors. That'll be amazing. This building, I think, has done a pretty darn good job of adding colors into it. I think once you step into this thing and even the outside, I think you're excited. What if we start to bring those other colors in? Look how this stuff starts to stand out more than the typical gray, the white. I mean, this red and white building's crazy. We don't have to do it all over the place, but what if we did it in spots? Just anything new. That's actually a parking garage. You should see it lit up at night. It's pretty amazing, but just the screening on that, I think it's pretty cool. We've heard about residential tonight. I think it's great if we can do a mixed-use building here. What if we took it down a notch? What if we took that residential component completely away from it and said, you know what? We have stock through the city. We have mid-rises and higher rises that we can do some cool lofts in and everything. Let's just focus on doing something a little different there. What if we started to recruit the best of Jacksonville? There are people that are doing some amazing stuff in Jacksonville right now. We've got amazing breweries. We've got amazing bars. There's this place called BREW 5 Points. It's a good coffee place. Got Moon River. Let's not worry about getting the chains in here. Let's get the local people in. If we got to cut the rents a little bit, we can. What if we're doing a parking garage, let's push it to the edge. Let's get it off the main site. Let's use an existing parking garage. What if we said, you know what, we're not going to bring cars on this lot, but we're going to bring in pedestrians and we're going to bring bicycles. We're going to open up that main corridor so you can get to the riverfront. What if this thing comes online? Does that change what needs to happen at the landing? I think it does. I mean, this thing is going to be pretty dang incredible. We don't want to be this little thing dangling here. We got to compete with this. How do we compete with this? I mean, look at the residential and the mixed use and everything that's going on down there. So I've said some little things, but what if we actually needed to become bold on this site? What if it needed to become more iconic? What if we needed to say, okay, this needs to become the new landmark because we have to compete with not only that, but what if we're competing with everywhere around the country instead of Jacksonville? I think it's time that we say, you know what, it's not good enough for Jacksonville. We need to do something incredible. What if we made the structure smaller on the ground and we went smaller as we went up? This is the Contemporary Art Museum in Boston, faces the water. You got an amphitheater out the front. Starts small, gets larger. We're able to get that density on the site that we want, but then we get a green space and usable space under the building. Those sight lines can happen. What if we had a fountain that was designed for play? What if instead of we walked down to that fountain and there were ropes and strings around it that said, do not play in the fountain? What if we said, no, we want you to play. This is in Portland, Oregon. That'd be amazing. I think, Jack, are you for this? Would you play in this fountain? You wouldn't play. Why not? That's not cool. What if we did a swimming pool component that pushed out to the water? This may not work, but let's think about it. Let's think outside of the box. Let's not do something simple. I mean, this would be pretty cool. You can go down in the summer, you can hang out. Maybe there's a bar that's giving you some drinks. I don't know. I think it'd be pretty awesome. What if we said, okay, we want to fill up the entire site. We want conditioned space everywhere. Well, we can do that. What if we put the park on the roof? What if we said, we're going to bring it up? Think of the views to the fountain across the river to the Main Street Bridge off of this thing. Wouldn't it be incredible? I'd like to go there. What if we went over the water? What if we pushed out over the water? Just think of, again, you've got that green space. Some of the stuff that used to be on the ground, we can bring it up in the air and push it over. Cantilever it out. Oh, I got like 2 seconds probably. What if it didn't blend in? You may not like this building, but I don't think you'd forget this building. It totally stands out. I don't know what's attracting me to cantilevered buildings and green space underneath. I think it may have to do something with the site. I think you want to open that waterfront as much as possible. But let's do something that you don't forget. I think if it ends up being like this, it can be kind of forgettable. I think this can be anywhere. This can be in suburban. We can push this thing back, 3 or 4 blocks, and it would work on that site. I think there's a lot of stuff that's happening here and in Jacksonville that we need to look at. I'm not sure, like the building that's there now is iconic. This isn't even iconic. Thank you.